in the matchup random, 33% of games would be a mirror. Would it really? I guess there's 6 different matchups and half of them are mirror matchups, right? I can't be bothered to do the math. GuMiho's in the bottom left though. Don't need to do any math for that, just directions. In the top right we've got Scarlett. Game 1 of this best of 2 that they will play. It's 1-1 between PSISTORM and Shopify in total in this series. Like I said, they're looking to hence put their team on the lead with a map win here. 1 map puts them in the lead. 2 maps would put them onto match point. So 2 maps after this will be played by MaxPax and Hearthstone. So a little bit of info for you guys on that one. As we see the cameras come on. And the barracks already reducing on the side of GuMiho. Scarlett getting the hatch, the gas, and I'm sure very soon the spawning pool coming on in. So nothing too crazy there just yet. Just gone. What happened to Beyond vs. Special? They were 1-1. That's it. They tie. The 1-1 builds into that. That's why it says 1-1 at the top of the screen. It's a team match. So each player plays 2 maps against their opponent. And then 2 maps build into the overall best of 7 score for the 2 teams. So 1-1 is just a tie. It's done. It's wrapped up. We go to the next one. So yeah, 1-1 between PSISTORM and Shopify. And GuMiho and Scarlett looking to advance their teams further ahead in this ever so important matchup in the World Team League, because they're both tied up and very near the top of the league right now. This is a make or break series for both these teams if they want to really push into the top 3 of the league this season in the regular season. Yeah, the loser, like I say, is very unlikely to fall out of playoff contention. It'd be very miraculously bad for them to not make playoffs, but obviously the further you finish in the regular season, the further you get to start in the playoffs, which makes your entire run that much easier, and hence gives you a better chance of finishing highly. Well, you even get to start more highly, right? You know, you finish in, 1 round ahead, you're guaranteed to finish at least 1 round further on than the other guys, so definitely makes sense. A couple queens coming through. Hellion and the starport coming up from GuMiho. Command center coming in. Just going to be seeing the reactor going down on the barracks. Starport building on the tech lab. And a link speed upgrade starting on the side of Scarlett as well. It's just going to get that beginning. Yeah, it's been very standard, the openings. It's not really been too wild. Obviously, double gas from GuMiho is worth mentioning. The fact it's not a fast 3 command center, so he's looking to potentially do some damage early. That's not really surprising considering it's Tropical Sacrifice. You don't want to let Zerg just kind of do their own thing on this map. It's a large map. There's tons of bases. The more you can kind of try and control things early, the better off you're going to be. And so I think the Banshees and the Hellions obviously then put you into a pretty darn good position for doing that. So I think that makes a lot of sense as this Hellion goes back around to the center, and the Queen gets to keep that Hellion pushed back. And you're pulling back for a few moments as we just have a little while of, again, setting up, waiting for the Cloak Banshees to come into play, of course, from GuMiho. See what they can do. Continue with that Cloak upgrade. Don't actually have a Banshee in production at the moment. Did we just build the one? Did we stop, or what are we doing with that stop? Because, like I say, the Banshee Cloak is continuing to build. But like I said, there's no extra Banshee on the way, so that's a little interesting. There's the first Banshee, but yeah, just no second Banshee is so intriguing. It's so rare you don't build a second Banshee, like, just because it takes 2 Banshees to get Cloak. But was there already 2 and the Cloak was just that much later? Was this the first Banshee still? Sorry guys, I'm struggling to keep up with the clean feed and what they're showing us, but yeah, I think this is we're just going to see Scott losing 5-6 drones. I mean, so far just 1 Banshee has been brilliant. Who needs 2 when 1 will do great damage in the first place? And yeah, it gets 5 workers, obviously drones pulling. 3rd hatchery currently not mining. These are all things which GuMiho will be very happy about. And Scarlett is going to opt for the immediate lair here. So going to go for the lair tech straight away. It's going to give it Overseers, at least against the Banshees. Obviously, potential to move on into Baneling speed quickly, although I don't have a Baneling nest yet, right? So yeah, Scarlett has some work to go to really get set up here, I think. She's got a little bit of setup to get underway. As Team Hellenes move back to the middle of the map, coming across over to that right side. Gonna get onto the creep spread here, pick away at a couple of these creep teamers. And rid of a few more creep teamers here. Banshee doing a good job as first one attack. Combat shields being brought in on the side of GuMiho. A few extra Marines, tank, and medevacs all producing as well. Creep that's getting picked away at here is going to see another creep teamer being picked off, and Finland's getting morphed in. GuMiho on this push. Remember that we're killing a few workers early. He's going to have Scarlett a little bit reeling when it comes to getting the right amount of defenses up at the right time here. This might be a little bit of a struggle even, as these few queens begin to wander forward. And yeah, the one thing about Tropical Sacrifice is if you can get in position on these low ground ledges, you can do a lot and make the Zerg player's life very difficult, because the tanks can just fire over those ledges. It's very difficult to clean that up, as Scarlett is a long way off from baneling speed as well, which really is just going to hurt for her as well. Not having that baneling speed currently available is really just, yeah, it's going to hurt a lot, just not being able to get the Banes into the fight. If she was able to live until Bane speed, though, I feel like this is pretty okay. She's up 14 workers, and GuMiho's attack is just off of 2 bases. She just needs to start stabilizing, and that, again, includes just getting that baneling speed as the first priority. 4th hatchery. Pretty important, because you do want to kind of try and keep the tech alive here. So we're actually going to run in, mostly Lings. There's the Bane speed finishing, so this is our moment to go. The Bane's going to continue to roll across. The tank getting so much damage done. Wow, complete failure of a defense from Scarlett, unfortunately, as GuMiho just has so much left over. It seems cool running down and engaging the flank in, but the tank got so many of the Banelings. She had no aid from her queens here at all, and obviously there's just no creep spread down there. I appreciate it's a weird position, but I think in this case, when GuMiho's so committed, just, you know, play around a bit, try and defend the base for as long as you can. But just start a base in the bottom right if you really want that 4th, and then just go from there. I think this was obviously way too soon from Scarlett to pull the trigger. Obviously she can know that now as well, but yeah, just going a little bit too soon, a little bit over-eager to get into it, and I don't blame her. I think she's worried about that position getting better and better set up. She wants to go before there's more tanks, but the position was just already very good, as the counterattack of Banes will open the doorway to some damage, but GuMiho's army is up 30 army supply, and I can't imagine that's going to change the way that this game is. I don't imagine that's going to change, and hence GuMiho should just be able to press through. And yeah, Scarlett just couldn't take that previous fight, because now she's just never going to have enough to be able to stay in this at all. Yeah. Queen's AFK. It wasn't even just the Queen's AFK, it's that how did the Queens even join in that fight? Because it's down the ramp off of creep. You can never get your Queens there. Should have been way better just kind of splitting off and trying to intercept reinforcements as they arrived. That would have been a way to maybe deal with this, right? Split off a few units, intercept some reinforcements, force them into medevacs at the very least. Anything that buys you some more time, that Bane speed finishes, like to maybe get time to replace the base in the bottom right. GuMiho maintains the siege on the top side of the map, as we'll drop a single mule down to repair, but with quadruple liberator, it's going to be really tough to break this position. The libs are going to deal so much damage to anything that runs down this ramp. And yeah, I mean, he's going to be killing 4 units at a time, essentially, with the Ling Bane. So the liberator is just chunking through units. The Bane's trying to get forward. Will not do too great. Queens get back up to that high ground. A few more Lings going down. This does look as though GuMiho is going to be able to continue through for a W. And that puts PSISTORM Gaming up in the series, of course, 2-1. Scarlett will get a map pick for her next map. Obviously, you expect Scarlett to probably pick. I just want to try and turn the score screen off. You expect Scarlett to probably pick Cosmic Sapphire would be the go-to. There's no vetoes, right? You just can't pick Tropical because that one's just Alright, in the bottom right hand side, our blue Terran player is going to be GuMiho from PSISTORM Gaming. Chance to make this a 3-1 lead for his team. No SCVs onto the map, as Scarlett from the Shopify Rebellion is in the upper left hand corner. Let's see what we get out of a little bit of ZvT here in Scarlett and GuMiho. Looks like hatchery first, so Scarlett's not afraid of a proxy Rex at all. It is a large map, right? So you don't really want to you don't really want to. Proxy Rex isn't easy to execute because it takes long for the SCVs to get there, harder to get the barracks close. It just maybe was a possibility, right? Maybe even a bit too predictable of a possibility as well. Very possible. Apparently everything is a possibility or possible in this sentence. Try to use some different words. Moving on from here. Hopefully still just heading down the bottom right then, and just going to be seeing GuMiho getting his own command center start. And a very peaceful start of this game number 4. With Hearthstone taking on Max Packs next, guys, you've got to think that for the Shopify Rebellion, you've got to at least get Scarlett to take a map here. Max Packs, his PvP is so freaking good. If he doesn't take the... Yeah, if he doesn't take the advantage here... sorry, if Scarlett doesn't take the advantage here in 2-2, and she doesn't get this tied up, then I don't think Hearthstone's going to have a good time. I think he is going to struggle a lot to take a 2 over Max Packs. A 1-1 I could see. A 2-0 over Max Packs, that's quite difficult, right? That's very difficult. If possible. And I say if possible because Max Packs, like I say, his PvP is just that good. He's lost some PvPs, yes. He's not unbeatable in it, but... I mean, you can't really cheese him. He's just way too good defensively. His macro game is on point. And he's a tough cookie to crack. To say the very least. Nuts to crack? Yeah, I mean, tough nut to crack would have been the bad phrase. I was going to say he's a difficult cookie to crumble. Was that the word phrase? Cookies crumble? Whatever. He's difficult to beat. So yes, maybe a bit of pressure on Scarlett to get this map win now for the Rebellion. And obviously, I mean, I guess going to the ace match isn't the end of the world either, right? You know, a win's a win against a team you're in tough competition with. But an ace match will only put you 1 point ahead of this other team, and it does make it tougher for either of these teams then to obviously advance towards the very top of this playoff bracket. That would be obviously a little bit rougher to do by just kind of no one getting the 3 points today. Again, our Fusion Core is about to finish up. I mentioned GuMiho might bring us a little bit of battle cruisers, and I guess that makes a lot of sense to do it on this map. Big map, hard for Scar to kill you while you go into the BCs initially, and then you've got the BCs, you know, to harass for a long time, and to just an effective way to harass on a big map because they can teleport around and all of that. So typically very useful. Let's see what GuMiho does on the follow-up. The question will be, does he follow up with, oh god, a second starport? Alright, well there's my answer. I was going to say, does he follow up with bio or does he follow up with mech? What are we doing? He decides to go second starport. He's going to go double starport battlecruiser, and this could just catch Scarlett completely off guard. If she doesn't get the scout on this and she doesn't have a faster lair and so on, this could be very troublesome because the damage output of multiple BCs at once is something that a Zerg is not going to be able to withstand easily when you're expecting just to have to withstand the DPS of one BC or so. Yeah, the initial spores are nice and that's great, and I'd feel great for Scarlett if this was just the one BC, because the fact it's the double BC that has me that little bit further worried. Scarlett did get by with a couple lings. Not sure if you should have saw the entirety of this natural. I didn't see, did the lings run straight through the mineral line? There's obviously 2 gases there, so if she saw that, that would be nice. As just going to be seeing our BC teleporting in the back left, a little bit of pre-warning. The lair's already on the way up, halfway done, but that's still a long while to wait for Aspire. That's what, like 25 plus, yeah, like almost 2 minutes basically until something came out from Spire production. So a long time until you kind of really get the answer on the table here. This BC just not in a rush to do damage either, because the next BC is coming, right? So 2 more battle cruisers continue to produce here. And that means that we're going to be on 3, and then when you're on 3 BCs, it's going to be very difficult to deal with. Spire goes down in the natural of Scarlett. I mean, it has to. She has to get the Spire down here. That's the right call, so she's doing the right things. And honestly, so far, dealt with the initial kind of pressure in here without too many issues, I would say. It could have been a whole bunch worse, in all honesty. The battle cruiser comes through. The Overseer going to take some more shots. The Marine there to help push the Overseer away. The second Marine as well. But Overseer will indeed go down. Still got the BC over here, just going to go teleport in because all 3 BCs are here, and this is the question. Can Scarlett hold off this without taking too much damage? Like I say, the Spire is going to help, but it's not ready yet. And as we see, all of these Queens, really good job with so many Queens getting so much damage done straight away. The teleport out can't happen, remember, because because GuMiho has already used the teleport in. So that one very low HP battle cruiser could be worth chasing down. Killing a lot of drones on this base. And Scarlett takes some damage, which, I mean, to be fair, she was very ahead on workers, so taking some drone losses is probably not the end of the world for her. As we see, 2 of them still running Ravenous in the main base. The other one that was very low that she nearly got rid of did escape away too, so it's going to go home, get repaired, and all of the damage that Scarlett did there is obviously going to be undone by repairs. 7 Corruptors coming out. The big question suddenly becomes, do these 7 Corruptors get here in time to kill these BCs before teleport's available? They actually might. It's going to be kind of close, but at the same time, Hellions are showing up, so another problem for Scarlett to deal with. Hellions getting surrounded, getting dealt with. The BCs have their teleport, so no, the Corruptors are not there in time. The BCs hiding in the corner, get the teleport away. All of this damage cost GuMiho, what, a handful of Hellions? Absolutely wonderful stuff, and Scarlett even cancels and rebuilds her base on the left side. Not sure if that was just maybe that was actually the hatchery, or if she was just building something to stay alive against a Hellion initially. Well, Scarlett holds, but she's down on supply. GuMiho definitely just finding good value, and like I say, the Corruptors are coming up. There's so many battle cruisers. I feel like this is getting almost ridiculously out of hand, in fact. Ling comes out. Ling takes some damage. He's just going to go flying. The Skullcrawler taking some extra hits. I'm just going to be seeing the Queens coming across, push those Hellions back up the top side as well. Just continue to do very well there. Our Queens continuing back toward the middle of the map. And the Hellions able to get rid of some more creep spread. Very well in that regard, as he just knocked down creep teamer after creep teamer. And just going to get one more creep teamer there as well. So again, doing a great job of it as our BCs make their way back to the upper right-hand side. A little bit more of a push, continuing to get set. I mean, that's going to be, again, Scarlett's issue here. Can she deal with these BCs just showing up pretty much repeatedly at this point in time? I mean, it isn't exactly a guarantee. It isn't necessarily going to be easy. In theory, she has the tools she perhaps needs, but obviously putting that in the right direction is going to be perhaps a little tough as our Hellions come through, going to grab a Zergling or so. Creep spread being denied, and the creep team is continuing to go down for the moment as the Hellions morph into Hellbats. Banes roll forward, they're going to crash into a first couple of Hellbats, into the next one. And again, doing very well in that regard as our BCs head into the main base. Here they come. Whereas Scarlett's Corruptors, her Queens are here. Loses a Spore Crawler, that's fine if it's just buying you a bit of time. Losing stuff like that, losing minerals to buy time in this scenario is not bad. As across the map, the Roaches get rid of a couple siege tanks, but it's not like Scarlett is on a huge number of Roaches either, right? She's still just being bullied pretty much throughout this game. Gonna lose the Balin as this base just can't fight. She just doesn't have enough Corruptors. 10 more on the way. Like I said, it's just a ridiculous amount of BCs. They're going to engage in the Corruptors, and Obviously, the BC should be teleporting out of here, and that's the power of the battle cruisers. They can just teleport out and survive. They will never teleport across the map again, usually. They will pretty much always fly across so that they have the ability to teleport away after. And that BC count is not getting any lower because she's not picked off a single one. We have stopped producing BCs. We're going to focus a bit more on the ground army. That's GuMiho. So at least this is the max amount of BC Scarlett has to deal with. That doesn't really make it any better. It's obviously still a bit of an issue. The BC is obviously still pretty darn good, to say the very least, right? As the Hellions show up and the Lings looking to wrap around on two sides. And we'll be beginning to pick their way through a lot of these Hellions, so a lot of Hellions starting to drop. The Roaches will move all the way over to the left. The Hellions will all go down, and that is going to be GuMiho cleaned up on this left side 9 o'clock base. Good pick off there. Good denial. Very nicely done. More BC is starting up from GuMiho. Testing Forge is going to come through. Roaches would love to try and get forward enough of that and maybe try and grab a tank or so. So you can see our BC still pressing their way all the way up to the top side of the map. Hellions morphing into Hellbats here. Tanks will continue to siege up and pick their way through a lot of the creep spread. Tanks setting up nicely in the Cyclones. A few of them just pressing forward here. Going to get a couple of lock-ons. Looks like Scarlett's setting up to actually fight into this position. In we go. She's going to swarm forward. Corruptor's going to go for the BCs. Can she go through? Oh my god, she just corrosive piled down her own Corruptors as they were above the siege tank she was targeting. Well, the Yamato's go off. She does kill off a few of the BCs. With the Cyclones able to lock on with Macfield as well, so those Corruptors are getting shredded, and Scarlett's supply, well, it's not healthy compared to GuMiho, who feels like he's barely budged in supply. Starts to rebuild some of the BCs, so I mean, a lot of it is just reproduction already kicking in. Scarlett doesn't have the money to remax here, though, and that means that GuMiho's push is going to continue. And if you can't stop this push of GuMiho, then this game might very well just be done for. And Scarlett is, yeah, unlikely to get to the tied situation here for the Rebellion. Some Lings on the counterattack and stuff, but again, just the early game, a little shaky, a little bit unknown. And like I said, kind of the start, that's what I kind of doubt the most in Scarlett's TVC. If she can get to the mid-game in a comfortable position, I think she can play an amazing ZvT, but against the Korean Terran specifically, she really just seems to struggle in those first few moments and kind of getting there in the first place. Makes it really difficult. Let's go down over on the side. The BC's moving a little bit back and forth here as our SCVs repair up whatever they can. And Scarlett still hasn't even maxed out, guy. I mean, just to kind of put it into perspective, like, if she'd been able to max out again by now, maybe there's something of a chance, but not even maxing. And now there's turrets and towers here, and but yeah, I mean, reality just striking again. Just, you cannot fight this. But you have to fight this because you're going to start losing your bases. If you lose this base, you lose the next one. Then you're pretty much just out of bases in general. So GG's called. And GuMiho is going to take game 2, 2-0 against Scarlett. Big win, like I say, for PSISTORM there. Because now they're on match point with a very close win the first guy. So just as a reminder to you all there. And we do play both these maps no matter what. So we got at least 2 more maps of StarCraft today. And we start with Max Pax in the top right. Our blue Protoss player repping PSISTORM Gaming. Bottom left, our red Protoss player from the Shopify Rebellion. It's Awesome. Game 1 here against Max Pax coming on up. Max Pax is Artanis? Pretty much, yeah. That's what we've pretty much decided at this point in time. Confirmed. Let's see. He's been cited as Artanis in multiple places at this point. Multiple webcams have shown him as Artanis. It's been great. Probe coming across, moving into the natural, just having a scout around. Just seeing what's going on. Obviously, MaxPax loves trying to get this fast expansion set up, and that's exactly what he's going to try and do. But look at Harstem go. Super fast Nexus from Harstem. Going to be actually kind of exciting, no? I mean, to expand that quickly is actually pretty crazy. And I like the idea because I think it really plays into what MaxPax usually likes to do. MaxPax loves to expand, so if you can just get the expansion sooner than him, does that not just put you in a good position? Maybe until MaxPax shows his versatility as a player and all-ins you in response, right? And then it's up to you to kind of deal with that, right? So I guess that's kind of a little bit of a question mark here as well, and we'll see how it goes. I was just going to be having our little pylon block on the other side. Harstem will know that this is a Stargate setup from his opponent. The question is, does MaxPax truly expand now, or is there going to be another plan of action over the next little while? I think that's honestly a fairly decent question, only a fairly intriguing kind of question in general. It's just going to be the Nexus. Honestly, if Harstem just puts his own Stargate down, I feel like he should be in a fantastic place. He'll be doing everything MaxPax is, but just that much faster. And maybe a defensive Stargate first, but yeah, I feel like he should just be fine there as fight in the middle of the map. Zealot on Stalker against Zealot and Adept. The Adept actually shades by across the other side, which means Harstem can beat the Zealot in the center. He's going to lose one probe now as this Adept kind of went on a weird shade pattern, but is going to end up into the main base. Going to look for one more probe. It hides in the gas. Oh my god, the Stalker got blocked by the building battery in the mineral line. It costs you the probe. That's unfortunate because the probe really did its best to save itself. It just needed the Stalker there to actually give it a helping hand. And the Stalker, like I say again, blocked by the building battery, didn't get there as soon as possible. And unfortunately means that poor probe did fall. So nice couple kills from MaxPax. He needs as much damage as he can get because obviously he is behind in workers. So yeah, the initial Adept putting some work in, brilliant. And now hoping this Oracle can put some work in as well to give MaxPax a nice steady stand in this game one against Harstem. As we come in and we just zap down a couple of probes pretty much immediately. So the Stalker just warping in, just going to be snapped. Twilight Council still about halfway done. Oracle coming around, Twilight Council again produced, and just going to be seeing the couple Stalkers coming around, going to go after this Zealot. Zealot is going to go get picked off as our Oracle comes dropping a Revelation. Here comes a Voider actually from MaxPax. So trying to poke at the front a little. Like I say, he has expanded, but he wants to put on some good pressure here as he goes. See what he can do. Oracle's coming in together. Obviously, that means that the battery doesn't protect this, and 6 workers going down. Finally, MaxPax has evened out the worker count in this game, so Harstem has advantage slipping away. He does start Blink, but look at how much sooner MaxPax's Twilight Council is. It's exactly at the same time, so it's not sooner at all. Oh, it's the wrong word anyways, but yeah, obviously going in at the exact same time there. Blink against Blink starting up. Pretty big deal in and of itself. As we just have a couple of Oracles still poised, trying to see what they can maybe do. See what their options become in this next little while as the extra gates come online. The Blink is producing. And yeah, MaxPax with the extra gates already while Harstem expands. Definitely looking to be the aggressor here, as MaxPax has done a lot to undo the leads of Harstem in this game. And now is probably going to look to go in and try and really get a good push across. Get down to that bottom side and, yeah, make something happen here. See if something can come of this as we drop a little Revelation down. See what we can maybe find. Not a lot over in the main base just yet. Stalkers in the center, he's going to continue to join up together to see a couple more gateways continuing through. probe comes all the way down to the bottom left. We do see our Phoenix hallucination moving across once again. Harston would love to know what's up. Again, MaxPax looking to push already and see if he can cancel the third of Harston and then take an advantage there as well. He's still got the Oracles putting in work in the back of the base too. Still trying to make something happen over there. We've got final on over in the corner. Stalker's hitting the Nexus, now starting to go after these other Stalkers. Sentry putting some damage in as well as the Void Ray active and taking its way through this Sentry. Sentry has taken horribly low amount of damage. This Void Ray has been prismatically aligned. It's been targeting Sentries for like 90% of his prismatic alignment. It was a horrible fight from MaxPax, all things considered. He could have done so much more damage here. He does deny the battery before it comes up, and he continues to fight, killing off these probes. Gets 10 in total, puts himself up by 4. Man, if this freaking Void Ray had actually hit anything, the Sentry was just dying so slowly to this Void Ray. I was like, no, the pain! The pain of activating the prismatic alignment and it basically just doing nothing at all, but... Okay, Harston is going to now have to deal with DTs, and I don't know if he's prepped to deal with DTs at all. Is this an instant GG? And he sees DTs, and he's got a Robo, he's got an Observer, okay. So he is somewhat set, but they're in multiple mineral lines, which means he's got to pull everywhere. He's obviously just not got preemptive cannons up or anything. Now, I loved the way Harston opened in the first few minutes of this, but boy, has MaxPax just played a brilliant game since then. Like, he just started up some pressure, and he's never let up since. And he's just found all of the damage he's ever needed to get right back into what was a better start from Harston. Fantastic stuff as we just see our probes continuing to die. 14 of them dead. MaxPax bringing Stalkers back at the end of this chaos. And even if he doesn't have enough right now, eventually he should with the worker lead he owns. That should be enough workers for him to eventually have enough Stalkers to keep on pushing through. He's still going to try and harass with a DT here and there, and DT does get picked off. Stalkers make their way down to the south. It's going to get a couple gateways online in the Observer here. I'm going to provide a little bit of vision as, again, just trying to deny a fourth base. MaxPax trying to maintain his control in this game, believing he has the control over his opponent. I don't disagree. I think he definitely does. He's just trying to put it into play there. That's a good stasis ward in the main base as well, so that's good to see. Stalker's still coming through. Here comes the Oracle, getting rid of a few probes as well. It's just knocking through a couple of those already. Work being done once again. MaxPax finding almost every opportunity to deal some damage and doing a wonderful job of it so far. Stalker's pulling back down the bottom side, ready to make a little bit of a push. And meanwhile, we got Forge, we got Charge, all of that coming up in the main base from Harston. So continue to bring that through. The Stalkers will continue over the left and just going to be seeing, I mean, a little bit of ping-ponging at the moment. Zealots will go charging forward. Our Stalkers will be taking some shots. A couple more Stalkers warping in as Harston tries to pull off the defense over here. Let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he can get enough up. And as we see a few probes pulled in, he's got Zealots to deal with as well. They're slicing through probes, and the Zealots on the other mineral line as well. Harston's supply is not good. He's down the +1 attack upgrade as well, and it looks as though MaxPax is going to seal the deal for PSISTORM Gaming. It's going to be a massive win for them against the Shopify Rebellion. PSISTORM, a team that struggled to make playoffs season after season, finally started picking up last season, and this season, boy, are they just performing brilliantly. They're having a hell of a time as MaxPax takes the game win over Harston to, like I say, shut this series down, essentially. We still play map number 6, and we'll get into that map number 6 in just a couple moments. There we go. The power within me. Alright guys, so in the bottom right is MaxPax, and the top left is Harston. This just becomes for map score, which might be a little bit of a factor. Now that's ready to start. Let's see what Harston tries to bring out in game number 2. I really liked what he did last time, Harston. I thought it was very smart. Just MaxPax played brilliantly after, and Now Hossum's going to play the high ground gate while MaxPax will play the low ground gate. And this is the game MaxPax loves to play, where you feel as though you probably have to attack him to take advantage of the low ground gate and the fast nexus, but he is so good at defending these attacks, it's almost unfair how good he is at defending them. It's kind of spectacular, honestly. Like, I really, it's kind of mesmerizing how well he's got the defenses thought out for all of these different things. We've seen our probes waddling around, and it's gonna have a gateway coming up, a cyber core to follow. And yeah, like I say, just getting ourselves going here as MaxPax will only have that one gate. Hossum will have the two. You expect in this situation for Hossum to be tempted into the attack, but I guess let's see what happens as we get rolling. MaxPax is just such a tricky player in the PvP. Let's see our Stargate dropping down the main base. So MaxPax won't even expand straight away. He'll be a little cautious, put the Stargate down early. Cost him. Yeah, a couple Stalkers. Maybe he tries to get expanding. Maybe he just says, yeah, maybe I do expand from here, especially if you go Stargate before expand. There's not much for me to aggress into. Be reasonable, right? Stalker's coming around. Adept moving into position. I'm just going to be seeing our final coming up from Hossum across the map. He's adding 2 more gateways. 4 gate time against a Voidray already in production. Obviously feels a bit funky. Stalker coming through. Stalker's fighting is going to continue to trade a little bit. It's going to be seen as Zealot taking some damage. Back and forth a little bit, and just going to be seeing our Voidray continuing through as well. I mean, like I say, Hossum's not really broken through at all just yet. The defense is looking good for the moment. Voidray's activate, and the Stalker already and picked off. Second Stalker going down. Hossum's going to GG out, doesn't have enough at all. Yeah, I mean, 4 gates don't usually work against MaxPax when he expands greedily. This was MaxPax expanding not greedily, putting himself in a very good place.